So, ladies and gentlemen, it is Lord Scroomus here, or on the Loose Moose on PlayStation. Today I'm here to talk about the Arcanist. Now, this is not going to be an in-depth video. I'm just doing a possible solo setup and dungeon setup. This kind of synergizes with both. Explain how it works, race, gear, food, Mundus, CP, everything you need to know about it. Just kind of threw it together on the spot. It's been a while since I've been back on ESO, and I figured what better way to come back than to cover at least something and put out some knowledge on the new class. I don't know everything there is to know about this class yet, but I'm going to try to share as much of the wisdom or as much of the knowledge I've gained on this class. So, let's get right to it. So obviously, right now my race is Orc. I chose Orc for the simple purpose of a little bit more survivability. It's a little bit less damage on the stam side, because I chose the stam Arcanist. So, anyways, so obviously the top, we all know through multiple guides such as Legendary Skinny Cheeks or A1 Puppies, that top race for Stam is going to be Dark Elf, but the Orc isn't too far behind. As much as I've seen on the charts, the damage charts, it's like, I think it's, don't bash me if I'm off by too much, but I think it's like 0.87% off, so less than 1%, so it's not really that noticeable. As well, you can also go with the Imperial for cost reduction. Of course, you're going to lose a little bit more damage, but you're going to get survivability and really good sustain. But to be honest, with the Arcanist, you're not going to need it that bad. And another good option would be the Red Guard. So for food, there is multiple options. So I have braised rabbits. If you want to, you could use this. No, it's not like the best, or it might be. If you're really confident in your skills, you could use the hearty garlic corn chowder, and you're not afraid to go in balls to the wall. That's a good one. Lava foot is a decent one. By the way, if you see some stuff that's tank centered, I also have a tank armory slot for this guy. Also, Rajin's Sugar Claws. And potion and consumable wise, I just have either tri-stat pots or here with some pots. Keep up on my ulti. So our passives. We're going to get to our passives and then talk about our big skills. If there's anything I'm forgetting, please let me know. So obviously I took the Slaughter passives, the Dual Wield Expert passives, Controlled Fury, Ruffian, and Twin Blade and Blunt. Destruction Staff. You don't need Trifocus. Not necessarily. Penetrating Magic is good. Really, really good. Elemental Force. Ancient Knowledge. And Destruction Expert. And I'm currently building up my light armor because I'm going, on this build, I'm going 6 medium, 1 light. So we're going to do the light armor passives, the medium armor passives, obviously the fighter's guild passives. I'm going to try to be as general and quick as possible with this. Obviously, your racial passives. Herald of the Tome, Fated Fortune, which is really, really good. Harness with Quintessence, which is really, really, really good. Psychic Lesion. And Splintered Secrets, which is going to be, I almost have 2,000 penetration off my front bar alone. Soldier of Apocrypha. We can use the Aegis of the Unseen. Wellspring of the Abyss. Circumvented Fate. An Implacable Outcome. Curative Rune Forms. Hideous Clarity is really good. Erudition. Intricate Rune Forms is a decent one if you have shields. But overall, passives are pretty much self-explanatory. You're going to take whatever passive helps increase your damage and your survivability as well. So skills we have on the bar, I have Camo Hunter, Barbed Trap, Deadly Cloak, Sphaliarch's Flail, and Exhausting Fate Carver. But for solo content, we're going to want to add Pragmatic and the other morph of the Flail. We also have Camo Hunter on the back bar, Blockade of Fire, Fulminating Rune, Inspired Scholarship, but you might want to take the other morph if you're worried about sustain. We also have Scalding Rune and the Languid Eye. Champion points. So I have Precision, obviously. Precision, Eldritch, and Tireless Discipline. Finesse, if you're not meeting the requirements for Exploiter, you can either replace it with Exploiter with Fighting Finesse, Backstabber, or Untamed Aggression. I have Thaumaturge on and Biting Aura. These two aren't going to be as useful because it's not single target. Our damage isn't single target, it's more spread out, it's more AoE and dot focused. Like AoE dots. The green sheet is personal preference, but the usual Rationer, Liquid Efficiency, Breakfall, Treasure Hunter, so on and so forth. Red Tree. I have Boundless Vitality, Rejuvenation, Bloody Renewal, on. Your Mundus for this one, because you'll have the pen, is, believe it or not, you're going to use the Thief Mundus for this one, and not the, I guess the Lover. It's either the Lady or the Lover that gives you the penetration. So let's get to the gear. Let's move on to the gear. There's a lot of different options. Now I'm going to mention one that's kind of obscure that I haven't personally tested yet. It is the Soulshine set from Reaper's March. That one, we'll talk about it here in a minute. I don't have it on my character at the moment. But, so, I have 2 Pillar and Nern daggers. And the Maelstrom's Inferno. I'm also wearing a light slime crawl piece with a body of Pillar. And I have Onsuls on. I have Onsuls. It's a really, really, really good set. It's a set and forget. You don't have to worry about, you have to worry about light attacks. You don't have to worry about having 2 proc sets. This one you can just kind of set and forget. But in place of Pillar, you can also have Deadly, which is just as good. Still a little bit behind in damage, but it's almost just as good. And I love it. I love it anyways. And we also have the Volanthi Urs Mage Amulet. This one is really, really good. It does nuke your light attacks a bit. Well, not just a bit, a lot. But it is still absolutely amazing. And so far, my highest parse here on the Arcanist is 105k. Actually, I think I got the parse video down for it. I'll probably upload it here soon. But let's go over if we wanted to swap out Slime Crawl and run a Monster Helm, we could easily do that as well. So there's tons of different options. So while we're at it, let's just go ahead and do that. So there is Engine Guardian. It's good for sustain. It's good for sustain. I would consider this an option if you're really looking for more sustain. Ice Heart, if you're looking for a little bit of a damage shield, as well as some AoE damage from the helm, with the Pulse of Frost going around you. Yep, it's a good choice. I like it, especially the one piece. It adds 634 crit chance. If you really need the pen, you could probably make Krog work, but I'd just leave it as an honor, maybe an honorable mention. Celine's is more single target. But honestly, Celine's just kind of lost some of his power after the last few patches. Bloodspawn wouldn't be a bad choice. Bloodspawn is actually one I'd recommend. If you're going for solo content, you're obviously going to take damage. You get that ulti to help you build up the Languid Eye. Stormfist would be a decent option. Grothdar would be a good option, being that it is a ring, and everything that's around you is going to be caught inside it. So this might actually be a decent option if you're looking for it. It's actually a really good option. Rocks of the Warps, really amazing recovery. Really amazing recovery. I like it. I actually use it on my tanks. Some of my tanks, at least. Now, this one is an honorable mention. I think the only flame damage that we're dealing is with our enchant. But if we wanted to use it, we would be decreasing the power of flame damage. And I know that in most dungeons and arenas have flame damage in them, so you would be saving yourself you'd be giving yourself some extra survivability with it. But if you really wanted to run a monster helm and this is the only one you had by chance, it would be an okay choice. It wouldn't be my first choice, but it wouldn't be my last. My last one would probably be like Kjolnar's. Veladreth would be a decent option. It's up there with the honorable mentions. Domahas would be a decent choice. Getting the extra weapon and spell damage while standing in the ring wouldn't be a bad idea. You're not going to need the pen, but if you decided you wanted to take points out of the Arcanist skill and run Baylorg and give up some of that, Baylorg might actually be a good choice for you. Grundwolf. Grundwolf, if you're looking for sustain, isn't a bad choice. Not the best, but it's also not the worst. It could definitely be a lot worse. Zon. Now this one, I didn't really want to admit that it might not be the best choice, but it's still a decent choice, even though your light attacks are nuked. You can still crit with those light attacks. You can still crit with those light attacks, and Zon's still going to deal a lot of damage. Zon's still going to deal a decent amount of damage, and it also works with some of your CP passives. So if you wanted to just be Being, if you get to a boss in an arena, such as the Minotaur in Banastron, and you're really looking to burn it down and just put as much pressure on it as possible, Zon would be a good choice. I would still, not even an honorable mention. I think it could still be up there, but this is, remember, Monster Helms is all personal preference. Nazare would be an amazing helm for the purpose that you have a Rune of the Colorless Pool, which puts on minor vulnerability and minor brittle on your target. You're extending that damage and giving them a debuff, casting an ulti and keeping that up on them. I honestly, it adds the extra health. I would actually use this in solo content. This is actually one of my top picks for Monster Helms. Baron Zadris. Applying a status effect to an enemy grants you a stack of Zadris Ambition for 10 seconds, up to 3 stacks. When you gain 3 stacks, stacks are removed and you gain 4 ultimate. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's going to build ulti, but it's completely up to you how you want to run, what helms you want to run. I think it's a good choice. Kjolnar's is okay, but it's just a single proc, and they become immune anyways, so it's might not be the best. Molag Kina, increasing the cost of your abilities by 8%. If you were to use this with Coral Riptide, if you were to place Onsouls with Coral, this might actually work in helping you dump your resources a little bit faster. But however, you might run into some sustain issues. This one is one that could be good, but you might run into some issues with it later down the road. And then finally we have Dreadseller. When you heal yourself or a group member with a single target heal ability, grant the lowest level group member within 28 meters minor courage and minor resolve, increasing their weapon and spell damage by 215 and armor by 2,974 for 10 seconds. Daedric energy will then bounce to a nearby group member within 8 meters up to 3 times, applying minor courage and minor resolve for 10 seconds. And this effect can occur every 15 seconds. This monster helm is really, really good for solo. I would say this Nazare, Baron Zadris, I'd say is a decent choice still. And Molag Kina, if you can deal with the sustain, if you can sustain it. Kina is still good. But other than that, that is everything I kind of threw together for today. I know, I made a lot of errors, just kind of stumbling onto this and stuff like that, but this is what I got for now. If there's any anything you would like to amend about the video, or if you would like to add your own input and something I might be able to change about my character, or if there's any passives that I missed, let me know in the comments. Whenever I get this going, I'm actually going to stream me getting my Flawless Conqueror, and also getting my Flawless Conqueror and trying to go for Spirit Slayer and getting the trifecta or getting the achievements in Vodastron. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to like and subscribe to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and also click the bell icon to be notified of future videos and future ESO content. I'm hoping to maybe make ESO my official game, so it's a game that I play a lot of. So with that, this has been your boy Lord Skumas, or Moose, or Goose, whatever you want to call me. It's been Skumas here, and I am signing out. Hope you're able to build some. I hope you're able to find enjoyment in the video, and hope you're able to find what you're looking for with this kind of setup that I have here. And again, this is Lord Skumas signing out, and peace.